Okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Laura Foz, and I am an HSU student at the Physical Therapy program.
Okay, so I have some questions for you today. The first one is, what is digital citizenship?
I really don't know, but I think it has to do with something with like people like owning the web or something, like people and the web together, but I really don't know.
Okay, so digital citizenship is the use of a proper response as a member in a digital community. So to put it in our terms, it means to be cautious and aware of what you are saying and or doing while in the digital world. So my next question is, what are the responsibilities of teachers that teach from kindergarten to 12th grade in protecting students in online environments, do you think?
Now, are these teachers, are they hosting a technology course, or like, can you define like what you mean in the online environment? Because not every school classroom has computers all over where they're using it.
So you're right, not every classroom nowadays has technology in it, but because we do live in a digital era now, they are incorporating it into each classroom. And even if they don't have it now, all students most likely have a way to access the digital world, like their phones mainly, in the classroom. So it's not just the technology classes, but like in general, just classrooms.
So I think teachers in the classroom setting from kindergarten to end of high school is that just to like be wary of kids and making sure that they are being safe with the internet, because nowadays, especially with how big technology is, cyberbullying has gotten so big that it's mentally destroying kids. And I think teachers, if they hear about it from student to student, they need to be like, okay, we need to shut this down. Or with like explicit texting, also with the internet, because kids can be mean and they can send those pictures out to all of their friends, and that person's life is ruined, whether male or female. And I think if teachers found out about that, they have a responsibility to stopping that immediately.
Okay, so you mentioned a lot of things that can happen on the internet, but what do you think specifically affects kids that are in like the high school levels, and like what are some main concerns that teachers in that department should be worried about and be on the lookout for, in your opinion?
Is it just high school levels?
Yes, just high school, stuff that affects them more than it would affect middle school or elementary.
Okay, so I think bullying across the board is going to be the same throughout. Teachers just need to be wary of it. But I think it can be the consequences of bullying. So like in today's age, we're always worried about a shooter, a school shooting kind of situation. And I think, there's been cases where students have literally posted on the internet that they are going to do this to this school. And I think teachers, if they found out or even heard a rumor or even came across the post itself, have a responsibility to either reaching out to the students or reaching out to their superintendent and making sure that all students are safe from that. And then also with the explicit text, that's more common in high school era. It can be common in middle school, but you see it a lot with high schoolers, because they're starting to get those hormones. They're starting to like be filled with hormones, and like it's easier nowadays to take a picture and send it, and they're not thinking about the consequences. And if teachers were to see that this photo is going around of a student, they need to put it into it, because that can potentially harm the student that was in the photo.
So now that you've been given sort of a general understanding of what digital citizenship is, what do you think are some common misconceptions about what it is?
I think most people, kind of like me in the beginning, was like, oh, you kind of just own part of the web, which is not possible, but people might think that, or they might think, oh, whatever they put out on the web, once it's deleted, it's deleted. That's not the case. Once it's out there, it is out there, and it can always be found very easily somehow. And so I think people don't realize how they need to be safe on the web. They need to be watchful of what they say, what they post, and what they do on the web, because that's always going to have a trickle effect, whether it be you can't get a job, you can't get a promotion, you get fired, or you can't even get into a university now.
So I just have one more question. We're obviously part of the generation that kind of is transferring from textbooks and stuff to the internet world and technology. So do you, even though you didn't really know what digital citizenship meant before now, did you feel like when you were in school that you had some form of this at your classroom? Or in your classroom?
Can you clarify, like, as I was using the web, or?
Like, were you taught to be aware of safety on the web, or were...
Oh yeah, especially in high school. Like, I think my junior year, senior year, they were starting to become more like switching from just standard bullying to cyberbullying now, and with those explicit texts, and it's just kind of gone over the years. Like, and I think students even now in middle school are getting the same kind of treatment where, like, you need to be careful about what you post. Because once it's out there, it's out there. You need to be careful about what you say about someone, especially through text message. Someone can just screenshot your message and send it to that person. You know, it's just that overall safety. Like, if you don't want that person to know, don't say it, don't post it. If you don't want your mother or your grandmother or Jesus to see it, don't post it. Because once it's out there, it's out there.
Okay. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for allowing me to interview you.
You're very welcome.